Now, my co-host tonight, he is live in Las Vegas. He is in a skybox. It says Dave LaGreca Skybox. He is the godfather, the one and only Dave LaGreca. They're still playing Cody's music behind you. Good evening,
How
Dave.
are you, Coach, man? I'm excited to be on with you, man. This is awesome.
Well, I've been watching all week. I've been having a little FOMO because I'm out here doing the PGA Tour. So we said we have to do this together Saturday and Sunday. But we got to start with the main event. We got to jump right into it because, Dave, I got to be honest with you. The psychology of the match, if people didn't watch it, of course they did. They're watching us right now. To have Pat McAfee come out, put in a stretcher by a horrible elbow by Jelly Roll, then he comes back out at the end in a referee's shirt, and then Randy RKO's Pat, and then Cody beats Randy, and that's how we end the match. What did you make of the main event?
I loved it. And, you know, obviously it's Cody's my guy. Cody retains the championship. But I like the way that they did it. The only thing I would have changed, Coach, is I would have given Pat McAfee a real receipt, which is a kick in the balls. That's right. What I would have done instead of the crossroads. That's very similar to what he did to Travis Scott last year. I would have stayed away from that. Get rid of Pat McAfee. Have him out of the match early so he's not a distraction, and he can get down to business with Randy and Cody in the ring, which is what they did tonight for the main event.
I kind of felt like that was the psychology of the Jelly Roll coming out of nowhere and doing – I felt like they've been listening to you guys all week, and they said, you know what? Cody hates it. The fans hate it. Let's get Pat out of it. And they did that right away, but you always felt like Pat was going to come back in. What I didn't like, Dave, was the finish. I thought if we're doing the double finger, wouldn't it have been awesome to have Stone Cold come out and be a part of that?
Well, listen, I mean, if you could get Stone Cold to be a part of it, that would be fantastic. Listen, they didn't even have Stone Cold when they were celebrating 316 Day on Monday Night Raw in Texas on 316. They don't have Stone Cold Steve Austin. So, yes, you're right. Just like going back to WrestleMania 40, instead of The Undertaker, Stone Cold would have been the right person to have there. For whatever reason, that's just not going to happen. So I like the way that it played out tonight.
All right. Well, we want to hear from you guys out there in the nation. You know the number, 877-344-4893. We'll get back to the main event in a second. But real quick, the other results tonight, there wasn't a ton of surprises, Dave. But the big one, and they paid it off with a championship, was the return of Paige in the Fatal 4-Way women's match. Mm-hmm. She wins with Brie. It seemed like the crowd was completely into it. They were over as the new champs. I thought she looked great. It's scary when you get kicked out of the business because of a neck injury. What did you make of them bringing her back and giving her the title tonight?
Well, Coach, you made a really good point about the crowd and how they popped for Paige tonight. For the most part, and I don't know how it came across on television, but I'm here in the stadium. For the most part, this crowd was dead tonight for night number one. Mm-hmm. One of the few times, and I think the loudest pop of the night was for Paige when she came out, and then a standing ovation from everyone in the stadium after she won that championship. So I know there's going to be people that are like, all right, she's just coming back, and she's got a title belt around her waist. Why not? If it gets that type of a reaction, and this goes back to a lot of the stuff from people going over to AEW, not being used, and then coming back to the WWE and being big and having championship gold. CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, and now Paige, the same type of thing. That reaction tonight, I got goosebumps. And then the standing ovation when she was holding that championship in the air and she got kind of emotional. That's what WrestleMania is all about. I heard you last week talking about it's about not matches, it's about moments. That was a moment tonight.
Yeah, I actually tweeted that back out tonight. I said, I said it is about moments. I want to read my tweet here real quick. When she won that, I said, Mania is truly about moments. To be told you physically can't do it anymore. To fight back and fight through the scariness of getting in the ring has to be commended. The crowd loved it. Congrats to Brie and Paige, and all 14 performed very well. When you have a fatal 4-way with 8 women, or technically 9, it can be an absolute shit show. It absolutely can. But I didn't think it was tonight. I thought it was well put together by the agents, didn't you?
I did too. And that was a match that, I'll be honest, up until just all the rumors came out about the possibility of Paige being involved, I wasn't really invested in that match at all. I don't think we really even talked about that match much leading up to tonight on Busted Open, but here we are. That was maybe one of the highlights of what we saw night number 1 here.
So you mentioned, and you're listening to Busted Open After Dark, night 1 post show will be here tomorrow night live as well. I think part of the reason, Dave, and I want your reaction to this, that the crowd was dead, and I felt that too watching, is that a lot of the matches we saw tonight, Seth, Gunther, the women, you could say Liv and Steph a little bit. There wasn't a lot of storylines for a long period of time. You know, we're throwing matches together a week ago or 2 weeks ago, and I think the crowd was like, why should I be into this when Gunther tells me that the reason he wants to fight Seth is to prove who the best wrestler is? But we did get the return of Bron Breakker, who looked to be healthy. He ran his ass off, and so I was trying to figure out how are they going to beat Seth, because you knew Gunther wasn't going to lose, but they had to protect Seth. They did it with Bron Breakker.
Yeah, for me, Coach, and I was actually having this conversation with Eddie Brasili. I remember, and I'm going back to the 80s, when it would be Washington against Dallas, and it's the championship game, and the Cowboys are at RFK Stadium, and you actually see the stadium rocking. You know why? You don't see that anymore. It's not about the structure of the stadiums. The diehards are not really a part of it anymore. I think this is some of the ramifications of the high ticket prices. I think when you become corporate, and that's what happens to your audience on events like this, I don't know if you have those diehard audiences that are going to live and die with every match and every moment. This is one of the prices that you pay when you have high ticket prices like the WWE has right now.
3 different things happened today for me. One of my buddies was in town working, and he got a ticket in the 30th row for $100. And he's not a huge fan. He was like, hey, I'm in town. I might as well go to WrestleMania. That was a text. I had another friend who got tickets from his company, just like the Super Bowl, just like what you're talking about. They said, hey, we got 4 tickets because we advertised at WWE World or something like that. And they're like, oh, I'll take them. I guess, I'm in town. I live in California or whatever the case might be. You're 100% right that when you go corporate, and then you've got Nick Khan doing interviews saying, hey, we don't listen to the fans. We go about the R's and the R's and the R's, and it's all about business. Dave, moving forward after this WrestleMania, if they don't tell the fans and show the fans we are listening to you, you're going to have more dead nights like tonight.
Yeah, and I think they will. And here's why. I think now the fans are smart to what's happening. I noticed a lot of fans that flew in. I met a lot of fans at our Busted Open event yesterday that said, you know what? I got the flight. I got the hotel. I'm not getting my ticket till the morning of the show.
Love it. Love it.
And I think fans are getting a little bit smart to what's going on, and that's smart because, like you said, you can pick up a ticket for $100. That ticket was not $100 2 or 3 months ago.
I looked, and the seat that my buddy got for $100 was about $3,400 a few weeks ago. Another bright spot tonight, Bianca Belair has been out for over a year. With an injured hand. She did have that finger. I think it's getting better, but she's going to be out for an extended period of time now because tonight she came out. She looked absolutely fantastic. The reveal of the pregnancy with John Cena in the ring, I thought that was really one of the highlights of the night, to be honest.
No doubt, no doubt. And again, it goes back to emotional investment. This crowd, the WWE Universe, is invested in Bianca Belair. So they see a moment like that. It's real. It's true. It's as real as you can get, and they're attached to it. That's why you got that reaction tonight.
So let's go with some of the ladies because I thought and I don't know when they did it.
Wait,
but
hold on. I got to stop you, Coach, and I apologize. Don't get mad because you're the lead here, and I'm just a guest here for the first 30 minutes.
This is your network, big boy.
I got to be honest with you. I'm still stuck on the main event.
Let's go back to it.
Can we go back to the main event?
Yeah, 1,000%. I was going to go back there anyway.
I got to be honest, Coach. Don't really care about the rest of the show. To me,
guess what? Neither did anybody else.
I'm being honest here. Yeah. I'm being honest here. Yeah. Cool Paige moment. Nice to see Stephanie Vaquer in her first WrestleMania match. You know what I'm saying? Like the Bron Breakker return. Great moments. Really cool moments. But when it comes to the match, when it comes to the story, and this is what I love about players like Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton, the whole Pat Mac, who gives a shit? Who cares? Let's get through it. Let's get past it. When it was just Randy and Cody in the ring together, I was like, all right, it's on. And even the video package before the match, it really didn't focus and concentrate that much on Pat McAfee. It was more about the history between Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes. And it's like, I'm punching the desk here in the box because it's like, that's what it should have been
the whole time.
From day
the whole
one.
Time. Correct.
Who gives a shit about Pat McAfee? Fuck you. I want to see Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton in the ring having a main event match at WrestleMania.
All right, so let me ask you this, because obviously
and I love Pat like you do. I love Pat McAfee.
Pat. He's a unicorn.
Yeah, I love him. Him. And I love the fact that he respects the business. But you know what I'm talking about.
Of course. But, there's a lot of eggs out there, a lot of Easter eggs out there about what's going to be happening next. I don't know why the night that he tagged us here at Busted Open, he tagged my personal brand in the video where he said, if Randy Orton loses, you'll never see me around the wrestling business again. That was unnecessary. That had nothing to do with the match. So now they backed themselves into a corner. So now moving forward with Randy and Cody, was this just a one-off for Pat to do Ari a solid, who's the CEO of TKO, and his new agent, talent agent, or is this done?
No, I think it's done. I think
Wow.
that's why Randy gave him the RKO. Like, all right, I don't want to see you in here anymore either. Bye, Pat. You're not necessary. We don't want you. I think that's the story that they tried to tell tonight. Because what you just said is 100% true. And here's the other thing: you talked about it a lot, about the tickets and about how many tickets are sold. Well, since the Pat McAfee introduction into this story, the ticket sales did jump up significantly from where they were. And if you look at the last 6 or 7 weeks prior to that, they were moving pretty slow. But they did jump once Pat McAfee got involved. Now, it could be the discount. It could be other factors. But TKO may look at this and say, you know what? We made the right decision getting Pat McAfee involved because we sold 38,000 and we had over 50,000 in the house tonight.
Okay, well, then that would be fool's gold. Because they had 2 other codes out there on top of the 25% that nobody talked about. And then, like I told you, you think my buddy was the only one to get a $3,400 ticket for $100? No, this fan base, I've always said this on Off the Ropes, they have not only smartened up, it's become what they do. I've got a buddy that went to John Cena's last match, flew from Miami, and didn't buy a ticket on purpose with his son, said, I'm going to buy it on the way in because now it's electronic. Dave, moving forward, if they don't price these tickets correctly, you're going to have every PLE like tonight where they straggle in an hour before the show to buy their tickets.
Coach, and it's not just pro wrestling. I notice I'm a big music guy. It's the same thing with concerts. Really? I go to concerts now. It's the same exact thing. If I'm a fan of a band, my instinct from decades of buying tickets is as soon as the tickets go on sale, I buy a ticket. Now I have to rethink how to do that and wait until the last minute to buy a ticket because that's how you're going to get it cheaper. And dude, I went to go see Guns N' Roses, right? The last time I went to see Guns N' Roses, I'm standing up. 3rd song in, I'm telling people to tell me to sit down. I'm like,
this is Guns N' Roses.
This is a rock concert. It's Guns N' Roses. And there's, I swear, Coach, I turned around. The entire section behind me were sitting down, and they're yelling at me to sit down. I'm like, what? This is a freaking concert. It's the same thing here. This is professional wrestling. Once you price out those hardcore fans, you're going to get that type of a mode and a mood in the stadium like we saw tonight.
I hope some of those.
But it's everywhere. It's every form of entertainment right now.
Yeah, I hope that the TKO executives, I hope Ari and Mark were in the building tonight. And I want them to take a really hard look at what they're going to do. Because, yes, they've already made the billions of dollars. We know that. Fans love focusing on the money. I want to focus on the stories. Because moving forward now, Cody, outside of Drew and the loss against Drew in January, you know that since Cody came back, he hasn't lost clean at all. I mean, at all. And I think that's why a lot of people were like, well, he's going to win again tonight. And he did just that. So let's focus on Cody for a second. What do they do with him moving forward? Because the crowd tonight, for a lot of it, they were cheering Randy.
No,
what did you make of that?
It was the same thing last year with John Cena in this building at WrestleMania 41. It was the same thing. Listen, I don't think they've done Cody any favors. I don't think it worked out at 40, but that was not the plan. They screwed him at 41, and they screwed him again this year. And I don't think it's helped him when it comes to the fans and the fandom, because you got John Cena, and John Cena's on his way out. How can they boo John Cena? And now you have Randy Orton chasing history and trying to become a 15-time world heavyweight champion, 2 away from John Cena. I love Cody Rhodes. I love Cody Rhodes' attitude. And what we saw tonight, Coach, is a completely different Cody Rhodes than we've seen in the past. Case in point, the ball shot. Case in point, the eye poke. He's doing things now. He's not the uber, ultra, white meat baby face anymore. Yep. He is willing to do the things that is going to get him to retain that championship. So when everybody says, oh, I don't like Cody because of this, or I don't like Cody because of that, he comes out with the suits and he does all prim and proper. Bullshit. That's not the Cody Rhodes that I saw in the ring tonight against Randy Orton. This is a different style of Cody Rhodes, and I love it. I'm here for it. Plus, we got a old school main event match with blood and both
blood and guts. Yeah,
open. Like, that's what you want. That gets you excited. The 2 finishes back and forth. Randy hitting Cody with the crossroads, and then Cody hitting Randy with the RKO. This place, for the first time in almost 90 minutes, the place exploded in Allegiant Stadium. Dude, I was all about it. At
least the people that we could see on TV, Dave, they were standing up at the end. I thought half of it was because they were waiting for somebody to come down, which ultimately Pat McAfee did. Yeah. And then we thought, well, who's going to come down to take care of Pat McAfee? I never thought in a million years it was going to be Randy. I never did. So now moving forward, if McAfee is out of the picture and he's done his 3 weeks duty to Ari, for Cody to be this guy, who's going to step in, or can they figure out a way for Cody and Randy to have 1 or 2 more dances that the fan base will want to see, and maybe, just maybe, they focus completely on the history of what they've had? Do you think fans want to see that one more time?
Yes, I think you hit the nail right on the head, Coach. That's exactly what they're going to do. In that respect, creatively, I think they've seen what they did. They did it for a reason. They did it to get attention. They did it so Pat McAfee talks about WrestleMania every time he turns on a microphone on ESPN. But now you're going to see it. The way that ended, the punt to the head. When was the last time we seen Randy Orton actually connect with the punt to the head? You don't see it anymore.
You don't.
We saw it tonight. This story is definitely not over. Who knows? Maybe Cody Rhodes is gone for a significant amount of time. I don't know. I think the next time we see both those guys in the ring, they're going to tell the story the right way.
I'm looking at my social media right now, and I have not gotten one positive tweet about the main event. A guy named Devin, worst Mania ever, enough said. Main event made no sense. Realistic, Jesus, what a world we live in. It was dumb. It's the ads made this show miserable to watch. That was another thing, Dave. You didn't have to live through it in the arena, but they had like 5-minute long commercials. I know. It kind of took away, and I think maybe that's why they got into the main event, because once we got in the main event, we had an hour. It took 27 minutes to ring the bell in the main event. From entrances to bell, 27 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, you're kind of used to that when it comes to a WrestleMania, but with the commercials, I hear you, Coach. I totally get it. If people are getting frustrated, I saw some of the tweets like I could watch The Godfather in between matches. I give credit to Keith Elliott Greenberg for that one. But, like, I see that, and I totally understand it. What I don't get, and listen, people can hammer me all they want. I love the main event tonight. I like the way that it played out. I like the fact that they got Pat McAfee out of there early, and then the receipt comes not just from Cody, but from Randy Orton at the end of the match. I liked it. I thought the one match that I thought was the entire highlight of the night, to me, was Cody and Randy, especially the second half of that match.
All right, very, very good. Dave, you got to get out of there because they're going to close the arena on you. I will see you tomorrow night for night number 2.
I'm looking for, dude, Coach, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. For all those naysayers on social media, enjoy it, man. Go back and watch it. My God, you don't have to hate everything. It's okay to like it. Okay, it's okay. It's still cool to like it, for God's sake. You got two WWE superstars, a bloody mess. How could you hate that?
Dave, they're going to throw you out. They're going to throw you out. He's our fearless leader, Dave LaGreca. He'll be back with us tonight.
I leave when up to you know who I am. Thank you, Coach. I love you, buddy. I love you,
man. The great Dave LaGreca. He'll be with us night number 2 as well, right here on Busted Open After Dark. All right, we're going to take your calls when we come back. 877-344-4893. What did you